talk about Kamala Harris, who may be the most appallingly disingenuous vice president the United States has ever had.
You know, we have to stay woke. Like, everybody needs to be woke. And you can talk about if you're the wokest or woker, but just stay more woke than less woke. Yeah.
And when we all sing happy tunes and sing Merry Christmas and wish each other Merry Christmas, these children are not going to have a Merry Christmas. How dare we speak Merry Christmas? How dare we?
Merry Christmas, everyone. Christmas is a time of hope and joy. We are in the midst of a public health epidemic that has taken the lives of over 220 million Americans in just the last several months.
There's an old saying in Tennessee, I know it's in Texas, probably in Tennessee, that says, "Fool me once, shame on you. If fool me, we can't get fooled again."
We're in the middle of a crisis caused by this pandemic that is a public health crisis. We're looking at over 220 million Americans who just in the last several months died. When we invest in clean energy and electric vehicles and reduce population, more of our children can breathe clean air and drink clean water.
The White House forced to clean that one up, posting a corrected quote-unquote version of the transcript of her speech.
President Kamala Harris touting the U.S. alliance with the wrong Korea while touring the demilitarized zone on her tour of Asia.
So the United States shares a very important relationship, which is an alliance with the Republic of North Korea. And it is an alliance that is strong and enduring. My mother she would give us a hard time sometimes, and she would say to us, "I don't know what's wrong with you young people. You think you just fell out of a coconut tree? You exist in the context." I couldn't reconcile it. Now I can.
Why, I gotta ask, does she always laugh like a stoner kid who's just discovered old YouTubes of Cheech and Chong?
When she's not laughing weirdly, Kamala is delivering speeches that sound a lot like a child doing a school presentation on an assignment where they've clearly done zero work.
Today, the business of our work is for the council to report on the work that has occurred since our last meeting across these areas.
Now, the power I have as a prosecutor is that with a swipe of my pen, I can charge someone with a misdemeanor, the lowest level offense possible. And by virtue of that swipe of my pen, you will have to go to a courthouse and stand in line. You will have to come out of pocket and hire an attorney. You may get arrested for a few hours. You will be embarrassed in your community. You will miss time from coming onto the Google campus. All because with the swipe of my pen, I've charged you with a crime, which I may choose to dismiss 2 weeks later.
I mean, remember, back before she became vice president, Kamala Harris did a puff piece with Elle magazine, and in that story, she told the tale of going to a civil rights march with her parents and getting upset after she fell from her stroller. Now, the article has Kamala Harris telling the story like this. "My mother tells me about how I'm fussing," Harris says, and she's like, "Baby, what do you want? What do you need?" And I just looked at her, this is Kamala Harris speaking, and I said, "Freedom." Yeah. For real. Now, a lot of observers at the time noted that this sounded awfully like a story Martin Luther King Jr. had told to Playboy magazine way back in 1965, back in the days when Playboy was not only a magazine, but also, yes, worth reading for the articles. In the piece, King said, "I will never forget a moment in Birmingham when a white policeman accosted a little girl, 7 or 8 years old, who was walking in a demonstration with her mother. 'What do you want?' the policeman asked her gruffly, and the little girl looked him straight in the eye and answered, 'Freedom.' She couldn't even pronounce it," King said, "but she knew. It was beautiful." Well, that's an inspiring story, And that's why I am skeptical for thinking that Kamala Harris's little kitty conservative caper may have been stretching the truth just a bit.